Nomuran was once a clean and beautiful city. Its innocence was lost when the war for Azeroth began, igniting a desperate race for more powerful weapons. In the midst of the escalating war, a brilliant gnomish couple had a son they named Wuuwuu. They hoped he would carry on their father's legacy as the great inventor of the steam engine. Wuuwuu, however, was not very bright. He only ever learned one word, woo-woo, and the other gnome children frequently mocked him for it. Ashamed and frustrated, his parents made a merciless choice. They brought him to the grand city of Stormwind and simply abandoned him there, a little boy left in a giant's world. They dumped him on a cobblestone street. Lost and alone, he begged for food and shelter, but was ignored by everyone who stepped over him. One day, while seeking shelter from a sudden downpour, he stumbled into the Stormwind Library, a vast place filled with ancient books. His gaze fell to the lowest shelves. There, tucked away in the shadows, was a small, unassuming book bound in dark, scuffed leather. He opened the book in his tiny hands. A wave of energy, cold and electric, hummed through his body. He opened his mouth, trying to speak the word Tempest, but only a soft, familiar Wuuwuu escaped his lips. The book seemed to take pity on him. The faint light on its cover grew brighter, floating from his grasp to a nearby table. Slowly, as if by an unseen hand, the book opened itself. The pages, filled with an ancient script, began to turn on their own. The symbols burned themselves into his mind as each page turned. He saw visions of a silver moon, a fiery sun, missiles shooting from his fingertips, and a great storm of stars and light. Just as he finished flipping through the pages, a small, brittle, folded note fluttered out and landed softly on the table. He picked up the small note. Its ominous scrawl seemed to burn with a desperate, dire warning. Do not close this book without reciting the oath. Those who fail to read the oath will be pulled into an endless war, a slave to Millhouse Manastorm. Even death offers no escape, for you will always respawn back into the battle. Wuuwuu stared at the note, then the open book, his simple mind unable to grasp the warning's gravity. With an innocent action, he slowly closed the cover. An unholy shockwave of arcane energy erupted from the book, shooting out unbreakable chains of pure magic that wrapped around and twisted his small body. The energy pulled at him, magical energy warping his small body. With a violent pull, the book finally consumed him whole. The book tied itself back up as the energy dissipated. The only evidence he was ever there was his little toy train, lying silently on the table. Wuuwoo's senses returned with a jolt. He was in a small, caged room with a dozen other figures, their armor scarred, their eyes empty and resigned. A massive iron gate separated their prison from a wide, sunless battlefield. Then, a booming, disembodied voice echoed through the air.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A flicker of life entered the eyes of the other fighters. He could feel the book's power surging through him, not as a curse, but as a part of him now. He was no longer a lost boy. Now he was a weapon, and the arcane power of the Astral Tempest coursed through his veins. As he raced onto the battlefield, a place where friendships and brotherhood are often lost in the tragedy of war, he let loose one final battle cry.
Spell Reflection, Cloak of Shadows. Cloak down. Shield bash. Dismantle. Trinketed. Battle Stance. Spell Reflection. Freedom. Big heal. Big heal. Eyes lockdown. Shadow Friends. Eyes lockdown. Blade Storm down. Death Wish down. Blade Storm. Trinketed. Cloak of Shadows. Kick. Shadow Dance. Evasion down. Frost trap. Open Astral. Trinketed. Shadow dance. Frost trap. Psychic scream. Frost trap. Bark skin. Divine protection down.
Shamanistic range. Trinket. Deterrence. Backing out. Backing out. Backing out. Counter's down. Ice block. Deterrence. Freedom. Dispersion. Evasion. Divine protection. Combustion. Cloak of shadows. Cloak down. Avenging wrath. Trinket. Shamanistic range. Waking up. Waking up. Waking up. Waking up. Deterrence. Cycle down. Trinket. Blades thrown down. Retaliation. Dispersion. Dispersion down. Waking up. AP.
Trinketed. Pommel. Cold blood. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Dismantle. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Cloak of Shadows. Trinketed. Shadow Dance. Cloak down. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Berserker stance. Psychic horror. Silencing shot. Cloak down. Shadow dance. Evasion down. PS. Guardian Spirit. Divine Shield. Shadow Dance. Blade Storm down. Psychic Scream. Sprint. Trinketed. Evocation. scream. Pain suppression down. Pommel. Battle stands. Shadow dance. Battle stands. Trinketed. Cloak of shadows. Cloak down. Psychic scream. Divine protection. Yes. Divine protection down. Pain suppression down. AR. PS. Sprint. Pain suppression down. Deterrence. Blade storm. Blade storm. Blade storm down. Sprint. Freedom. Barkskin. Sprint. Trinketed. Sprint. Starfall down. Sprint. Cloak of Shadows. Sprint. Trinketed. Cloak of Shadows. Psychic Scream. Death Wish down. Psychic Scream. Divine Protection down. Trinketed. Cloak of Shadows. Sprint. Cloak of Shadows. Blade Storm down. Protection down. Evasion. Sprint. Death Wish down. Sprint. Shadow Grants. Sprint. Trinketed. Psychic Scream. Divine Production. PS. Psychic Scream. Divine Protection down. Pain Suppression down. Icy Veins. Dispersion. Water Shield. Psychic Scream. Bulk Mystic Range. Divine Protection. Blade Guardian down. Spirit. Mystic Range. Water Shield. Blade Storm down. Baking up. Psychic Scream. Blade Storm. Blade Storm. Intimidating shout. Cloak of shadows. Retaliation. Dispersion. Psychic horror.
What's up, Ascension? Got another build today. This is a little bit of an update to my last Astral Tempest, which was a little bit more of a hardcast style build. This one, you're only channeling arcane missiles. You're not casting anything else that requires a cast time. This one does a little bit more damage overall. It's a little smoother to play, and I'm doing quite well with it here lately. Pretty much dominate most BGs I'm in, unless the other team is full of hunters. So again, we're Astral Tempest. We use Sunfire. This spreads more Moonfires and guarantees you more missile barrage procs. Power overwhelming, just because arcane missiles keep your arcane power off cooldown faster. And arcane motes, once again, mainly for the Moonfire damage. Moonfire is probably about 30% of the damage on this build. It's a very well-rounded build. Obviously, we have Missile Barrage. We have Improved Insect Swarm. You would probably take off You Got Jazz and put a third one of these. Demonic Moonfire, I have Precision for hit. If you don't have issue with hit on your gear, just put, plus one arcane damage. It'll be fine. And then we have Arcane Empowerment, which is good for your barrage and your missiles. The gear I use on this build, I use a sunflare, but my main enchant needs to change. I'm just too broke right now. I have the tome, the DPS Trinkets. You would probably run a trinket, a PvP trinket here, ideally. Everything else is spell power crit. I use the shaman chain set for the most part, mainly because that's what I started with, and I don't know, I'm just not going to farm out another set. So how the build works, it's pretty straightforward. You Moonfire and Sunfire groups of people. You hit them with your Missile Barrage. You throw out your Arcane Orb, and then you use your Missile Barrage procs on Arcane Missiles. And after every one of those, you're shooting out a Barrage. It's just really solid damage all around. It's quite a good build. To find it on the Architect, you just go to Hero Architect, search. You go to All Builds. You type in Dirtypotions or Wuuwuu, which is the name that this character is. This character was supposed to be more of a secret, but people are creeps, so everybody knows already. So it's called Astral Tempest 2.0 Dirtypotions. You can play this and just have an easy mode arcane mage build with little to no hard casting, and it just plays a lot smoother and a lot more damage than the other one. So enjoy. The next builds we're going to fuck around with will be Soulfire builds for my good friend Krieger. We're going to teach him how to play Soulfire. So look out for that here in the next month.